The views and opinions of this episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Three Black Guys with a Mic, its advertisers, or its listeners. On this episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic, we talk about a lot of stuff you probably will disagree with. Like, is Jesus real? Is he black or is he white? Hold on to your seats. This is going to be a very interesting episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamont is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay, go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic. Hey, family, we need your help. Wherever you listen to this podcast, we need you to subscribe. We need you to download. We need you to share. Plus, we need you to rate the podcast as well. That's how we continue to grow this podcast. Continue to let our advertisers know that we are relevant and we are here to stay. Also, it helps us with getting new advertisers. So share this podcast on your Facebook page. Share it on the Instagram page. Tell your family. Tell your friends. Three Black Guys with a Mic. Go to the website, threeblackguyswithamic.com, and engage in the conversation at facebook.com/threeblackguyswithamic. Thank you. We appreciate that. Your support means we are here to stay. Now, let's start the show.
So Lamont, did you watch the joint, man? Did you watch the Karen's potato salad version of This Is America?
I'll be honest with you. I saw it and I watched like the first 15 to 20 seconds. I didn't do the whole thing. Wow, tell me what happened.
Nah, I was asking you because I seen that you had sent it, and I seen something else on it online, but I did about the same thing, about 20 seconds. And I was like, I can't get into it right now.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. And actually, Mos Def said this in his interview on Hot 97. See, here's the problem, and we all got to understand this. It's too much shit that's trying to get our attention, bro. And we only have so many hours of the day. And sometimes we just be like, you know what, nigga, I'll deal with that shit later. Like, I didn't know Ivanka had kidney fucking surgery today. I'm just like...
No, Melania.
Which one is the wife? That's Melania?
Melania.
Oh, yeah, Ivanka was in Israel today, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me and my mom got into an argument today about that shit.
What about what?
My mom up there talking about, the Bible said those are the chosen people.
Oh, so hold on. Save it then. Save it till we start.
I'm not gonna talk about my mama like that.
No. I'm just saying save the
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Just save that one because that's a good conversation.
The Bible don't ever talk about the black people though. I'm confused.
There's no black people in the Bible.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We gotta worry about them Jews, right? Right.
Sure,
we can't talk about
in the Bible.
Where were they?
The curse of Ham.
I know, right?
The curse of Ham said,
have you
black
ever read a book called What's Wrong with Being Black by Matthew somebody?
But let me say this before the answer to that is no. I haven't read that book. But let me say this. You are an avid reader, and I appreciate it.
Right, because you make me feel fucking dumb, bro.
He's always talking about something.
Right.
Something that he read, and I don't read like that. Like I do. I like the books I like, but
I Google. I don't read. I'm good. I'll pass.
Anyway, in the book, he's talking about black folks are always, because of the curse of Ham, that black folks, that God has forever punished black folks because of the curse of Ham. That's what the whole gist of the book is about.
Okay.
I just wanted to just mention that.
So the question is, I think I asked this once. If God is real, he must hate black people.
Ooh. I hope we got the record button on now. The curse, is this Ham and eggs? What is this?
Ham. So Ham was one of the sons of Abram. If I'm not correct. I'm not sure.
Abraham.
But Ham was the son. And so, it was not Abram. It was Noah, wasn't it? And let me see. Let's get this right.
Yeah, Ham's father was Noah.
Right. And at a night that Noah fell into a drunken stupor.
So Noah went to Teresa's, a happy hour, right? Shout out to Teresa's. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
I'm on the way when we get finished.
We got show notes, B. We got show notes.
No, come on, dog.
We got show notes, son.
Hold on. Audio tonight, man. Come on, man. Can we freestyle in this motherfucker?
Oh, wait a minute, though. We're not gonna be out here MFing it, though, Lamar. We're not doing that.
I'm sorry.
All right, it's okay. You are forgiven. But yeah. So Noah,
unlike the people of Ham, you are forgiven. All the rest of the black people not forgiven.
So Noah's two other sons covered him while Ham laughed at him, and because of that, he and his people were cursed to serve the other two sons, and he was sent to, essentially to what would be Africa. And so he and his offspring and his offspring's offspring and so on and so forth forever and ever were cursed to serve the offspring, to serve the other two sons and their offspring and offspring of their offspring of their, et cetera, et cetera. And therefore, that's why we're supposed to be slaves.
Forever. Let me ask you then, Maynard, do you think that God has cursed black folks?
So I guess it starts with purely from an argument's sake. If God exists, then he hates black people.
Wait, whoa!
Why would you say that?
What do you mean?
But first of all, wait. Well, here's a better question. First, let's start with first. Are you questioning that God exists? That's the first question.
Certainly.
Okay, why are you questioning that there is a creator of all that we have? Right. Everything, the breath that we have, the microphones that we're talking in.
There's no evidence that would suggest that he exists.
So you just think that you just magically came from the sky and that nothing. I think that a sperm and an egg formed what's called a zygote, and that created a child and an embryo, and an embryo was given birth to, and it was me or whoever. And I'm not saying that. Listen, I'm not necessarily saying that there is no God. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he does exist, he must hate black people. If the curse of Ham, let's back up. The curse and some of the things in the Old Testament as well as the New Testament where we are concerned suggest certain things. For instance, we discussed this once in the past. Slaves, obey your masters. That's New Testament.
Uh-oh. Wait. Can you say that again? What does it say?
Obey your masters as if you, and then and that's in Ephesians, but there's even another area of the Bible where it says, slaves, obey your masters, do your work even when you're not being watched, for God is here watching you. So God is saying, if you don't pick that cotton, I'm looking at you even when the slave master ain't looking at you.
You better ask somebody.
So there's that. And then if the curse of Ham is accurate and God gave these things, then it's a curse forever. If the curse of Ham is accurate and it's in the Bible. So what we have first, we have to understand a couple of things. If the Bible is either true or it's not. If it's not true, right? If Jesus walked on water, the reason why we follow Jesus is because he walked on water. I mean,
that's not the only reason why we follow.
I understand that. Yeah. But what I'm saying is if Jesus had went out to walk on water and he sank, then we'd be like, well, what are we following him for? He ain't special. He sank. But the idea that he walked on water or healed the sick or fed, the many, out of loaves of bread or turned water into wine magically, if he couldn't do those things, then people would be like, well, he's just a dude out here, he's just a dude out here like any other wino or any other person. Because he could.
Why are you calling Lamont White Jesus a wino?
But hold on. To digress from that for a half a second, I did understand that there are two Jesuses, and I understand that. Now, there's a white Jesus,
and there's a black Jesus.
White Jesus.
Wait, hold on. We got to define for the peoples. Who is the white Jesus and who does he serve, and who's the black Jesus and who does he serve? Because is the black Jesus only for Michael in Florida and JJ and Thelma and James?
Black Jesus first discovered black Jesus on
Good Times.
Good Times.
Yeah.
Good Times. But what we understand is, like, when you get ready to get on the highway and your grandparents or your big auntie wants to pray for traveling mercies. That's the white Jesus.
It's a white Jesus,
when you almost get into that accident, it was black Jesus that pulled you out of that.
Right.
When you get on the highway, you prayed for traveling mercies, that's white Jesus. When you be like, yo, I'm in this crap game and I just rolled a 7 and I'm on a roll,
that's
black Jesus. I just looked that way.
Yep. That's right.
Black Jesus is the one, and you be like, damn, I hope we got enough sugar to make this last picture of Kool-Aid. Black Jesus.
Did I send you guys the documentary? I'm sorry. The Zygus. Have you ever seen that?
No.
No.
I'm gonna send it to you. You should watch that.
But you deep.
And that's what I'm trying to take Maynard. I'm feeling like it's just like everything is like a homework assignment, bro.
No, it's not a homework assignment. I'm just saying, you watch it because it talks about, it talks about Jesus being another made up story in regards to, all of the other stories from, I forgot them, but it's pretty much in the same line of the same stories that have been told already, right? It's not anything from, anything new, from Egyptian times to astrology, all of that stuff. And Jesus is pretty much the modern day way of looking at religion or spirituality, however it is that you want to call it. And that right now we are just in between signs between, Pisces and Aquarius. And that when we, move on to the next one, that this world will, or this age will end and we will move on to the next age and there will be another prophet. But all of the stories and the prophets that were before that have the same backdrop. They were born to a virgin, lived for 30 years, died, resurrected on the third day. And so Jesus is not, is a new story or anything that is real based off of the documentary. Something deep to look at.
One of the things I'll also remember about that, the Black Jesus episode, or at least Good Times, and I don't think it was the Black Jesus episode. And Lamont, you might remember this, when Michael came home and he said, I don't believe in God. And Florida lost her mind. God, boy, don't you say that. God, he don't know what he's saying. Why is everything about God being afraid of God? And so what I think happens is we say that we have faith in God, but I think that we really just have interpreted faith backwards. We have fear that if we don't believe in God, then something bad is going to happen to us. Everybody, you guys. Okay, here you go, Spud. Here you go.
No, but can I get some of that first? Because Maynard gave us a homework assignment. I had a conversation the other night, with me and my whatever. We had to fill in the blank. And I was at a round table with about like 12 other black men.
I'm sure Maynard and I are really trying to figure out what that was.
Don't worry, just leave it. Don't worry about it. Just leave it alone. Let that go.
Okay, because me and Maynard are like, wait, who is that? What is that? What are we supposed to call this person?
No. It was a group of people, and one of the persons he talked about how, he had just turned 70 years old, and he had come to the realization that the rest of the days on this earth that he really was going to identify with what he really is, and that is a descendant of a slave. And he talked about how he talked to his elders, parents, grandparents, and he's 70, and how they were all programmed once they came to this particular country. and that everything that was done to them was about programming. Now, I'm not trying to say that there is a God, there's not a God, because I do believe that there is a God. I do believe that there is a being that created all of this that's much bigger than us. Now, what I also get angry with people about is that in other parts of the world, they might not use the word God. They might use something else, but that still means the same thing. So I feel like it could be called different things, but there is something that created all of this other than, you're right. You know, Mama Scales and Papa Scales, they got busy one night and they created Maynard Scales. We got that. But if you take this all the way back to the beginning, and one time I was with this guy who's in the, he's like a aquatist, something to do with like underground life and all that other kind of stuff. And the one thing that he said to me, he talked about how many species of life that there is underwater and how there are hundreds of thousands of different species that were created, you know, all around this world. And I said to myself, somebody had to create that. Like there's some powerful being that just created this thing that we call life. So I say all that to say, and I know I'm going long, is
I was
that
going to say,
Florida,
because Maynard gets a 3-minute, conversation based off of your long one.
No, tonight is audio only, so that means cocktails have been flowing and they're going. I'm gonna go long, but Florida was a part, like what my man said, is that Florida was programmed, just like the real reality is that our ancestors probably were programmed. Our grandmothers and great grandmothers, it's a lot of programming. Part of that programming, definitely in the Black church, is that you are not going to question the pastor.
You're not going to question the pastor.
Whatever the pastor says, that's how it goes. And then you have to go back to understanding, even during slave time, what the pastor was allowed and what he was not allowed to say. So then you start to think, as things go down, if you put poison in the pastor, then and the Black people believe in the church and the pastor, then that poison is going to be handed down for generations. I read this and I'm gonna leave this alone. And I don't know if this is true or not. But you know how in the Black church, Black people always wear like the white gloves? You know how the deacons and the deaconess, when they serve and whatever. I read something that the reasoning behind that is that when Black people would give money to the church, white people did not want to actually touch the money that Black people had, and that's why they put on the gloves. Now, again, that could be fake news. I don't know. But that would play into the narrative of the church was a tool that was used to program Black people. Period.
Amen. So listen, let me say this. Every time in my life, and y'all may be different, but every time someone died in my life and you read the little obituary when you're sitting in the pew at the funeral and you were this person,
when he gave his life to God,
they would say that Joe Blow was a God blank Christian. What fill in the blank, gentlemen? God fearing Christian.
Yeah.
And in the Old Testament, God says the Lord is jealous and an avenging God. He takes vengeance and is filled with wrath. That's fear. That's fear. We've been told that you believe in God or else. If you don't, then they say you believe in God or else. And someone said, well, what is the or else? And he said, well, the or else is or else you go to hell. So it's fear. Is it faith or is it fear? And I think it's fear because that's what he's doing here. At least in the Old Testament, that's what's being said.
Yes.
And it's being said again. And then the other thing is so if God said this in the Old Testament, and then am I to believe that when Jesus came along, he essentially said, hey, look, my dad, he got it wrong. Y'all ain't got to worry about him no more. Just do what I say do, and I'm going to talk to him and make it all good. Is that how it works? How does the New Testament supplant the Old Testament? Is the Old Testament no longer to be followed?
Let me kind of go back to, what I was talking about Zygus real quick. I just wanted to kind of make this reference because it says that it kind of took off the Egyptian god, which is Horus, which was written in 1280 BC. The Book of the Dead describes a god, Horus. Horus is the son of the god Osiris. Born to the Virgin Mother. He was baptized in a river by Anup, and the baptizer who was later beheaded. Like Jesus, Horus was tempted while alone in a desert, healed the sick, the blind, cast out demons, and walked on water. He raised Azar from the dead. Azar translates to Lazarus. Oh yeah, he also had 12 disciples. Yes, Horus was crucified, and after 3 days, 2 women announced Horus, the savior of humanity, had been resurrected. So in this documentary, that I checked out, it's called Zygus, which is a really great documentary. It's really deep. It talks about not only just Horus, but it also talks about a couple of different, pagan gods, I would say, back in the day that pretty much, Jesus or whoever created the story or the narrative of Jesus in the Bible pretty much copied that same format. And that's how we got Jesus.
So Lamont, let me ask one other thing, man. And you might help me out because you're smarter than me.
You don't ask Spud because Spud reads more than I do.
Yeah, but I don't comprehend better than you guys.
Okay,
so
all right.
Here we go. So we're to believe that God has been around for millions of years or something like that, right? Thousands of years, tens of thousands of years. So the Bible tells us that he created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and on the 7th day he rested. God needs a break? God, you mean to tell me he needs a break? God needed a break. God was like, "Ooh, I'm tired." Really? Doesn't that just sound utterly stupid? That God, who is at least thousands of years old, or 1,000, and he's infinite, he needed to take a break on the 7th day. That don't even sound right.
But you know what?
Like you said, we've been programmed. We've been saying it so long that it just sounds normal.
Yes, and I do. Like I said, I think we've been programmed, but I also think that we have to be careful because what we're doing is that we're using logic, and I think that when this book and the people who believe in this book on a certain level, they don't think in logic. They think from an emotional standpoint. And I think that that's apples and oranges. You know what I'm saying? So what you're saying is correct. A lot of stuff just doesn't make sense. But a lot of people, and I'll go here. I had a conversation today with my own mother who talked about believing in faith. Those are 2 very big words that are from people who I don't want to say have a different faith level, but they just, everything is about belief and in faith. And it's almost like when you ask a question, it's almost like, no, you have to believe. Okay, I get that. But can we at least just have an intelligent, logical conversation? And sometimes when you talk about Jesus, especially white Jesus, this is not about intelligent conversation or logical conversation. It's about belief and faith. So you're just supposed to believe that he didn't, whether he needed rest or not, that he just rested. Don't ask why he rested. And you know what that sounds like to me? Slave master.
Sounds like shut up.
Don't ask me no questions.
Shut up and don't shut up.
Shut up. Don't ask me no questions.
Don't ask me nothing.
Don't think. You just go out there and pick that cotton.
Shut up and put this money in this bucket and send it around.
Right.
We're gonna give you 2 more songs.
Exactly. But that's me. Who am I?
I mean, me too. I just got these questions.
And I'll just say this and I'll be quiet. I also remember reading this article when it said about, that's one of the reasons why, if you look at the black church overall, the demographics, in comparison to male and female, is higher in female and lower in male because men like to bring an air of logic to the environment.
Okay, you stepping out on your own with this one, my dude.
No, I'm saying that's something I read. And whether it's true or not, I don't know. But, it was said in this particular article, and I'll send it to you, that, black men, when it comes to the black church, they like to ask questions. And that's something that's not, encouraged. But
That's true. That's true.
Who knows?
That's true.
Who knows?
Oh, wow. So I guess we having a show this evening, huh?
I guess we should probably start the show, huh?
Oh,
Sure,
okay.
sure. Why not? Let's go.
Why not? Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Three Black Guys with the Mic. Spud is here. Lamont is here. Maynard is here. Welcome to another Tuesday.
Special audio only edition.
Yes, no video this week.
Y'all can't see me in this thong that I'm
Whoa,
wearing.
whoa.
I got the Speedo on. I got the
No, first of all, no male should wear a Speedo, ever.
Right. Come on.
Listen, and I don't know what it is. I mean, for all of our fans, and listeners that are across the, United States, or abroad, I should say, can you please let us know? Because it's more of a European thing. So when I travel outside of the country, I see a lot of Speedos. When I go to Jamaica or Turks and Caicos or, Mexico or whatever, I don't want to see Speedos on the beach. I want to see shorts. I want to see nice swim shorts. I want to see basketball shorts. I don't want to see thongs. I don't want to see that.
So now you dictating what people going to do in other countries?
I mean, but that's what they do. I mean, in other countries, especially European countries, that's just kind of the norm.
Let me run.
Older white men who are homosexual typically are in a Speedo.
So Lamont, Spud is dictating what's going to happen in other countries. Let me run the sponsorship announcement. When you want things to work your way you want them to work, white privilege. Get you some in stores near you.
Or if you would like yourself a Speedo and you live in London, grab yourself a Speedo right now and go to the beach. That's not cool. Speedos are just not hot.
But Spud, we
can't run other countries.
Wait. We need a correction. There's a difference in a thong and a Speedo, which is a brief.
Speedos, in my opinion, are thongs.
That's different. That's not always the same. That's not always enough. I have a Speedo that's not a thong.
Wait. This
You need to get rid of that immediately.
Bye. I'm hanging up right now. I'm going to spend time with my wife right now as we speak. I'm leaving. This podcast is over. 28 minutes. It's done. Listen, you told me, Lamont, don't no black man drink no white wine. And I'm telling you right now, better not be no black man walking around in no damn Speedo, especially one that hosts this podcast.
My God, listen to me. Listen, man.
No Speedo.
You gonna let me talk?
No, I'm not letting you talk. I'm not even letting you finish. Wherever you got that Speedo, one, it better still be in the box. Two, it better have been a gift. 3, return that gift soon as you get back to Bergen County.
All right. So can I talk now?
Depends.
First of all, let's be clear. Speedo is a brand name, just like Kleenex. Okay. So just because a tissue, there are other tissues out there that are not Kleenex. So let's get that out the way.
Lamont,
Speedo makes. I'm just telling you, my dude.
Lamont,
listen.
Fruit of the Loom is a brand. Fruit of the Loom got. Hold on.
Son, what are you talking about?
Wait. Fruit of the Loom is a brand. Fruit of the Loom also has boxers, and Fruit of the Loom has tighty whities. You don't walk around with tighty whities. Because they're a brand, don't mean that you need to be walking around with the little thong shorts walking around the beach.
Let's have some clarity.
I'm disappointed.
So hold on, Lamont.
I know, man, why we don't get any selfies.
They make a 48 Speedo?
Now I know we don't get now I know why we don't get selfies when he's on vacation. Now I know why we don't get no selfies while he's on vacation.
This is America.
Listen, man. Can I clear my name?
I'm putting that up too. I'm photoshopping you in a Speedo right now and putting it on the Three Black Guys with the Mic Facebook page.
Wait a minute. We posting Facebook and on YouTube and other places. I don't want there to be like a community violation for obscenity.
Go ahead. Try to clear your name, Lamont.
No, I'm just saying, listen, bro. When you have a Speedo, they have several different brands. But again, Speedo is a brand name. They make shoes, socks, shirts. They do everything. So when you say you think of Speedo, you just think of a thong. You know what I'm saying? They actually make brief. They actually make the long, I don't know what you call them. I have like some regular long, short things that come all the way down to my knees, bro. When I'm in the south of France, man, I'm not wearing those gym shorts.
He's in the south of France.
Told on himself. Told on himself.
You rolling out in Nice? You out there rocking out with Mika Brzezinski?
Yeah. So I'm saying I have the Speedo brand stuff that I swim in, and it comes down like right above my knee. So
are they biker shorts?
Speedo Performance?
Are they biker shorts?
You know what? It's kind of like a biker short. Yeah. Yes.
Oh
no,
God.
my gosh.
No,
this is embarrassing. Listen, this episode can't go up. This episode cannot go up.
Hold on. So here we go. Because last year, what it was that Lamont was rocking was the romper.
Right. Right.
And now we come to find out he is out here wearing performance Speedo biker short swim attire, the tight joints in a 48.
In a 48. At 48.
I got the bottom, and I got the shoes. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Oh,
Lamont.
okay.
No,
are you an avid swimmer, Lamont?
No. Are you swimming the English Channel?
No, I'm gonna put my feet in the water. I might, do a little backstroke, and I'm going back to the concession stand, to the bar.
No performance swimming.
No, but I mean, I gotta look the part, bro.
You like the aerodynamic. You don't need to be catching water.
And you in the tight tank top too.
It's not tight. No. It's the
romper Speedo. It's the romper Speedo.
Romper. Oh, Lamont, is the Speedo matching the romper? That's what I'm saying. Are you color coordinated all the way through?
What suit jacket size did he say he was?
50. Oh God. Oh God, this is just I'm sorry, this is not a show.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if he walking around in a fitty suit jacket, you know what that Speedo looking like. That one-piece Speedo with the shoes, with the matching shoes, and the what kind of sunglasses? The Ray-Ban sunglasses on?
Yeah, of course, gotta have the Ray-Bans, bro.
You got the Ray-Bans or the Oakleys?
I'm a Ray-Ban guy.
Okay.
This is ridiculous, man. I am disappointed.
This is America.
I'm also disappointed in you in two things, Lamont. This trumps them all. But I want to also, I want to see if I'm actually officially knocking you off of the MILF category, right?
Whoa.
I'm officially getting rid of Gayle King as your favorite MILF in the world. I'm automatically knocking Gayle off. Gayle's out here snitching on Oprah, which is a no-no.
That's true.
And it's not a good look. But it made me think. Gayle's 63 years old.
Okay.
Maynard, as men get older, don't we want younger women? We don't want them older. Hence the reason why we were talking about Rihanna a couple of weeks ago. And I understand that Rihanna may be a little bit young, but as a man gets older.
Rihanna's 30-something, right?
She's like 34.
That's a woman.
She's a baby.
My dude, that's a woman.
Men want younger women, Lamont.
Oh, man, I'm good. I'll pass.
Listen. Let me just, put this out there so it's known that Lamont he has a thing for Gayle King. That's cool.
That's not cool.
Rosario Isabel Dawson. Girl, let me just tell you how I feel about you.
Why you sounding like that? I'm confused.
Hold on, wait a minute. This is the part of the breakdown in the song, right? So y'all supposed to be like, boo. So Rosario.
Thoughts come to my mind, Dan.
And so, look, Lamar, if you like Gayle King, that's your business, my dude. But let the man like Gayle King.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna let him get away with that any longer. I'm not gonna let him get away with allowing for these older broads to be able to have shine. As a men in the world, I would love for men to ask. It's just men. Please get on our Facebook page, 3blackguyswiththemic.com/ or either on the website facebook.com/ 3blackguyswiththemic. Let us know. As a man gets older, he wants to look at younger girls. He doesn't want to look at older women. Now, I understand if you got the wife is the wife. That is what it is. But the fantasy is not older women. The fantasy is younger girls.
Hold on. So Lamont, what's just happened is he said he's no longer letting you do that. He's against the Speedo. And I think that really kind of talks about what the Iran nuclear deal is, because it's about sanctions. It's about sanctions. So
do y'all see, y'all don't see Joe Jackson running around here with no older broads. Joe Jackson got young girls.
Joe Jackson. But Catherine, though.
That was the wife. The wife gets the pass. He ain't with Catherine no more. When you see Joe Jackson, he walking in with 4 young Asian chicks.
So what? Joe Jackson is the bar? Is that where we're going?
No, I'm just saying he's an older man. When you see David Letterman, he's not messing around cheating on his wife with older women. You didn't see Donald Trump messing around with an older broad. He went out with a younger girl.
I defend myself here, or I'm just gonna just keep giving me body blows.
I don't know if you can defend yourself on the show.
I mean, I can.
I would love to hear.
I mean, I just feel like an older woman is a different cut of meat.
Oh my goodness! Now we have reduced women down to meat. This is not a show.
Wait a minute. What? How much age does that mean?
Rosario, baby, I don't think of you as a piece of meat.
Is that right? I like my steaks to be dry aged as long as possible. You feel what I'm saying?
That is gross. That's disgusting.
I don't know where we going right
That is
now.
disgusting, by the way.
What do you mean?
So you want Gail to be hung up in a meat locker and aged for 20, 30 days or so?
When it comes to my steaks, I don't want a steak that has just been, came from the slaughterhouse. I want it to be dry aged. I want it to be rubbed down and whatever they rub it down. Just let it sit for a minute. That's me, bro.
Rub it down?
Yeah, that's me. Spud is telling me that I'm supposed to get some new baby calf, slaughter it, and put it on the plate. I don't want that. I just don't.
So you anti-veal?
Yeah, I'll pass. No veal for me.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Lamont Hayes, no veal for me.
Speaking of young girls, Lamont, so are we going too far with the R. Kelly stuff? All the streaming services are backing away from Kells. We talked about this with the radio station in Detroit that backed away from Kanye West. That's muting Kanye West, Spotify, Pandora, muting R. Kelly. Is this gone too far? Or is it time for R. Kelly to finally reap what he has sown? Bible verse.
No. Here's what you said before is that, R. Kelly is another example of how Black lives do not matter. We just don't. No, we don't matter. And I'm going to tell you why we don't matter.
Wait. Are we talking about the young girls or are we talking about R. Kelly?
No,
being muted.
R. Kelly's music is his music. Because the young girl part, that's different. And I said it to everybody who we've had this discussion is that I personally do not condone. I just told you I like old women. Any grown adult man, in doing some of the things that he's done in the past with young girls, is violation. So that's not cool.
So peeing on a girl is okay as long as she's of age.
63, she's going to get peed on. It's cool. Let's do it.
Gosh.
I'm just saying, at 63, if you ain't figured out, listen, if that's what you want to do.
Before?
Oh God.
I just was curious.
Where are we? I
just wanted to know. Okay, no.
Black Jesus, rescue me, Black Jesus.
Lamont, Maynard, have you ever golden shower?
Yeah. Have you?
Have I ever been peed on? Or have I ever peed on someone?
Have you ever, as John Weatherspoon would say in the Boondocks, I don't know what everybody talk about golden showers for. I like golden showers. 1, I like gold. 2, I like showers.
Where are we? No.
Okay.
No.
But let me finish this thought, and this I think is very important. So after I did my research and my issue about what they did to R. Kelly, they created a rule, and for several hours, R. Kelly was the only person that they put up under this rule. And then they went and listed a couple of other, urban artists, rappers, black, one's Mexican, I think, but no white people. And then I went to go back and I looked at the rule and I said, well, wait a minute. Ted Nugent had a record called Jailbait. And in the record, Ted Nugent, Fox News's poster boy of This is Real America, had in this song called Jailbait, and you can go to Spotify or whatever your little provider is and look it up. He talks about having sex with young girls. This record has been out for about 20 years.
Yeah, but has Ted Nugent been caught with young girls? Has he had a sex ring? That's different between talking about it and actually performing golden showers on young girls.
Hey,
Jesus.
Hey.
Why do we keep saying these things?
But that's the truth. I mean, that's the reason why. It's two reasons why we're talking about R. Kelly. One, because of the sex tape. Two, because of the sex ring and the cult that, he has allegedly created. But has Ted Nugent or anyone else that's white, have they done that has had somewhat, I guess, evidence that points to him doing that? It's different between somebody making a movie about sexual assault and Harvey Weinstein actually doing sexual assault. Those are two different things.
Are you finished?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hayes.
Because technically, made her so nervous that we're not talking about Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels and James.
We can talk about Stormy Daniels. It's the same thing.
No, this is more interesting. Let's just stay here.
What I'm saying
Which
is
one? The gold or the showers?
Wait a minute. Hold on. I like gold. I like showers.
Go ahead, Lamar.
In the court of public opinion or black opinion, because not really public, because the white folks don't really care that about Robert and what he did on a tape and you need to use in big air quotes alleged, because he has not been convicted of having a sex cult or a sex ring or any of that. This is just one of the things that black people, what we do a lot is just talk about certain things. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question.
It hasn't been proven.
Let me ask you a question.
You know what? No.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Blackground. Mr. Blackground Records.
No. Here's what you're not going to do today. Is we're not going to make this like Lamont is being supportive of R. Kelly's behavior.
Are you?
But wait.
Here's a better question. Has it ever been proven? Has it ever been proven that Maynard and Aaliyah? No, I'm just kidding. That R. Kelly and Aaliyah were married. Has it ever been proven?
Yes, of course he was married to her,
but not publicly. Publicly, they've always said it had never happened.
That's a lie. I saw the marriage certificate.
Ooh, an admitting. Okay, we got a confession, ladies and gentlemen. One confession. One snitch on the three black guys with the mic. There's a snitcher on us.
Here's where the brainwashing comes in. Just like the rest of the Negroes out here. That has nothing to do with this company targeting the black guy and saying that we're going to take his music, and they didn't take it off of the platform. What they said is that they were going to take him out of the algorithms, that they were going to treat him differently than the white people because they didn't like the way that he did things outside of the platform. And all I'm saying is that is discrimination. That shows that Ted Nugent's ice is colder than the black man's ice.
Let me ask you a question. Is Harvey Weinstein's ice colder than Bill Cosby's ice?
Of course.
Where? They both did the same thing. They both are accused of sexual assault.
Bill's been convicted. Am I right, Maynard?
I mean, Harvey Weinstein hasn't gotten there yet. But everybody is pulled away from Harvey Weinstein the same way that they're pulling away from R. Kelly.
Maynard.
Bill's been convicted. But ladies and gentlemen, I have not really said anything because this is hilarious. Thank you, and continue, gentlemen.
I'm just saying. And I all got my money on Harvey is not going to get convicted. He won't even go to trial. Donald Trump still ain't even showed his taxes. How about that? Ted Nugent's on Spotify. Heavy rotation.
So, Lamont, let me say this, though. And I think that you both have points. One is Ted Nugent made a song, but I have yet to hear allegations of Ted Nugent doing what the song says. Where there are allegations.
So now we're...
My man, Lamont, I didn't say anything. I just sat here.
She got to you too?
Hold on. I just sat here and listened.
The black folks different off allegations?
Lamont, we know this. When somebody gets shot...
Kettle 1, Kettle 2, Kettle 3, 4.
When somebody gets shot somewhere in the hood, everybody knows who did it. but we act like, well, ain't nobody ever charged him with it, or he ain't been convicted, so is good. No, we know, and you can sit there, you go, well, you can say what you want, you can look at that tape and say, R. Kelly did that. That's R. Kelly. Lamont, I have sat quietly. Lamont, I have sat quietly and listened to the two of you guys go back and forth. Can I just have a little moment? Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And we know that there are certain things that we don't have to have 12 people raise their hand and say he did it to know that he did it.
What did 50 Cent say on Power? Oh, if niggas say that he did that shit, he did that shit. They said Ghost did that shit, he did that shit.
OJ did it. He might have been found not guilty. We kind of take a little wild guess. We also can say, even when somebody is convicted of something, that we can be like, I don't think that was true. Like, I still have my questions about Mike Tyson and Desiree Coleman or Washington or whatever her name was.
You still got your questions about Jesus.
I do. I do. Now, but there's one thing I want to get to, and it's a little bit different. Have you all ever heard the argument where some white person says, y'all say nigger all the time, why can't I say nigger? I think we probably have heard that. And that's because they're sitting there saying, you do it, why can't we do it? What they also are saying is, you disrespect your women, why should we respect them? You tell people that you're beasts and thugs and savages, why shouldn't we call you beasts, thugs, and savages? We are telling the world through our music and our entertainment how to treat us. Why tell these people to treat us like niggers, thugs, savages, bitches, and hoes, and then get upset when they treat us that way, when they don't respect us? And it starts with saying, you know what, God bless you, R. Kelly, and God bless all the rappers and entertainers who have come out and talk about cooking up rocks with the Uzi or whatever.
Cooking up dope with the Uzi.
Cooking up, yeah, right. Or, that they smacking their bitches and whatever the lyrics are, and then have an expectation that people are going to look at us and say, oh, well, this is an upstanding gentleman. If you pull up and you playing a song and you bumping the music and it's saying all these wild, crazy things about how many gats you got, all your Dracos and your Mollys and your Percocets, and then people say, well, I guess that's who he is, and they treat you that way. This goes back to the conversation we had. Like, you can smoke weed and you can do the Mollys and the Percocets and go to the concert when you got $3 in the bank account, but don't be mad when the consequences are you don't have enough money to pay your rent, and people don't respect you because you're not giving people something to respect. And it starts with saying, R. Kelly, we've had enough.
I would agree with that, Maynard. Thank you very much for that very articulate point of view. Lamont, would you like to respond?
I do. I just would like to read some things, if is that okay?
Sure.
And if you give me
the chair would like to recognize Lamont Hayes.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
But be very clear. I can reclaim my time. I reclaim my time. But go ahead.
Okay. Jailbait, you look so good to me. Jailbait, won't you set me free? Jailbait, look, you look fine, fine, fine. And I know I've got to have you in a matter of time. Well, I don't care if you're just 13. You look so good to be true. I just know that you're probably clean. There's one little thing I got to do to you. Now, I'm going to give you an A or B, or, you can choose one or two. A, lyrics from a R. Kelly song, or B, lyrics from a Ted Nugent song. What you got?
Well, we know it's B.
I mean, I don't think that's the point, though. Here's the question. Wait. Here's the question. Which one's which one is? I want to say Which one's wrong? Going on Pornhub and watching Barely Legal, or actually going out and finding Barely Legal?
Well, hold on. Let's back up. Barely Legal is still legal. I mean, it's just barely.
You might be 17 and a half,
like, hey,
right? You might be 17 and three more days before you turn 18. The point is that if you are barely legal and I'm watching you on X videos, right? Then you know what? I probably didn't do anything wrong. But if I'm out driving up and down Woodward looking for
not yet legal.
Thank you very much, Maynard. And then I pick one up and I take him home. Then
what's his name?
There I am. That's wrong. And that's the same situation in this case. It's nothing wrong with Ted Nugent, which I don't agree with that music.
It's
about jailbait, because if you go back, wait. Is there not a hip hop song? Is there not a hip hop song called Jailbait? Isn't there a hip hop song called Jailbait?
I don't know, but we can find out.
Google it. He's just a jailbait. Jailbait. She's just a jailbait. It's a song. It's just entertainment in that case.
But this is the thing, though, Lamont, and I thought about this. Because somebody would say, well, Maynard, you want black music to rise up and do things that white music won't do and blah, blah, blah. But it goes back to the same old thing. If everybody was running around here cutting a patch in their head, are you supposed to go cut a patch in your head, too? Just because that's what they do, so we holding ourselves to that standard? They do this, so we should do the same? No, we should be better. We should be better, not for them and we should be better for us. I want better for me. I want better for my daughter. I want better for people who look like me. Now, listen, I agree that if we don't care about the collective, if like, yo, you know what? I want to be a nigger. And I want to do this, and I don't want you in my business. And everybody out here wants to live their own individual lives, and we don't want to have anything to do with the collective. Then fine. I get it. Those are the new rules. Then I won't care about you. You don't have to care about me. But if we think that when things happen, if something happens to you in this world, and you're black or you're Hispanic or whatever the case, you're a black or brown person, and something happens to you in this world, and your first response is to get on the phone and call the NAACP, Urban League, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Ta-Nehisi, whoever it may be, then you want the collective to come to your rescue. And we got to be like, yo, as a collective, are we living right? Or are we living foul? That doesn't mean that what happened to you is justified. But if we want the collective to do better, then collectively we got to charge ourselves with the responsibility of doing better.
The sad part about it is that the collective is that we everybody, black folks, white folks, America, across the country, we paint black folks with a broad brush and put everyone in that collective, where there's black folks and then there's niggas. There's white people and there's white supremacists. There are white people and poor white trash. I mean, you can't put everybody in the same box. And that's the unfortunate part about it. But when it comes to black folks, we paint everybody with that same brush. Going back to Maynard's point, it is unfortunate and it's difficult for us to actually overcome those things, to say, hey, look, respect us. Give us what we want. Give us our 40 acres and a mule. This is racism. This is some BS. And I get it. I understand, because we are like a family where it is, I can talk about my brother, but you can't talk about my brother. But it's difficult for another culture to look at us and say, well, damn, it's okay for you to call your brother, as Maynard pointed out, nigga, fuck you, your mama, and all that other stuff. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks, blah, 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 blah. But if I say those same things about the same thing you're saying, then you got an attitude. Well, it's the same thing with R.Kelly. R.Kelly, you have spoke about this music. You have acted out on this music. Now we're saying, oh, we are going to actually take action, even though it is a long time after. We're now going to take action on this music and no longer support the things that you have, one, done in the past, two, the things that you do now, and we're going to mute you. Who should have an attitude about that?
Lamont, you know, I feel like you've been taking on shots. You know, maybe we should open the floor
not really.
back
I
up
mean,
to you.
I'm very disappointed, and I just want to read this, and I'm done. And I just want to say that it's all right, baby. It's quite all right. I asked your mama. Wait a minute, officer. Don't put those handcuffs on me. What about her? Hey, I'll share her with you. Is that an R. Kelly lyric or a Ted Nugent lyric? And anybody who has the audacity to say that if we're going to hold our country to that standard, why was Ted Nugent not banned as well? And if you're saying that it's okay for R. Kelly but not Ted Nugent, the programming is working. I'm down with the program. The programming is working.
Why did we? Or why was so many people, which is anyways, the reason why people went against Roy Jones is it Roy Jones, Ray Jones? Who was the Alabama guy? Roy Moore. Roy Moore. Thank you. Roy Moore was because he was literally out here talking to young girls, showing up at schools, walking girls in the mall. That's just wrong, Lamont. Now, if Roy Moore was saying to his friends or whatever, you know what? Little girl over there is cute. Oh, that 18-year-old girl is nice looking. Oh my God, look at those booty shorts. You'll probably be like, you know what, Roy Moore? You're probably a sick individual, but we really can't fault you for that because most of us look at young girls walking down the street that may be 18, 19 years old. Some of them may be 16 and be like, damn, she got a big old booty. But if I went and actually walked up on a 16-year-old, it was like, hey, baby, let me get your phone number, and then actually asked her to come over to my house, or then actually, then slept with her, that would be an issue. Right? But if I thought it'd be like, but then when I do it, I don't know about that, homeboy. I can't mess with you now.
Oh my goodness. I am so ashamed.
But you have made the point, Lamont. This is the reason why we need to mess around with 63-year-olds. This is the reason why we need to fantasize about MILFs. Right? That's why we all should be looking at Gayle Kings and April Walkers and...
Who's April Walker?
Hey, give him my shine, man. Give him my shine. And Cicely Tyson. That's what we all should be, that's what we should be fantasizing about.
She's a grandmother, bro.
Oh, so Gayle King ain't old enough to be a grandmother?
Yeah, but for somebody that's 50 or 50, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, dude. Like,
Lamont, listen, I support you in your Gayle King love, but you don't know how to actually defend yourself here.
I don't have to defend myself. Listen, man, I think that people who eat rice and peas, that black foolishness and rice that's not rice, I think it's utterly disgusting.
You mean to tell me when you ever been to Jamaica before?
Yes, I don't eat that foolishness.
Wait a minute,
but
are you kidding me?
Wow.
You tell me that you don't go to Jamaica and eat rice and peas? That's the culture.
Yo, dog. Okay, but that's not what I participate in. So what I'm saying is, like, I don't eat drumsticks.
So when you go to Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico gonna be on you because they already on you. So when you go to Puerto Rico and they eat rice and peas, that's a problem?
Well, no
Please
disrespect.
say to our Puerto Rican friends that rice and peas is a problem.
Right, listen. The way I'm feeling, it's cool. When I go to Puerto Rico, I get off the plane, and I go to the Ritz-Carlton, and I go to BLT and El Molino. I go to El Molino and get my pasta and chicken and shrimp, and I go to BLT and get me a steak, and I get back on the plane and go back to New Jersey.
Lamont is absolutely an American. God bless you.
What?
Lamont,
I don't eat rice and peas. I'm not eating jerk. I don't do that. No.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it wrong.
My point exactly, because you just told me that because I think Gayle King is hot, that I'm wrong.
No, I'm just saying. No, actually,
you said I'm the devil.
No, I didn't say you were the devil. I'm just saying that it is time for you to start to reverse your thinking. I got to get a little bit more Benjamin Button style going on. I need the older to get younger.
You sound like Donald Trump.
No, I don't. Donald Trump likes young girls. He likes young girls. He ain't out here talking about, yo, let me see what's up with Angela Merkel. He ain't out here like, yo, Angela, let me get that number.
You don't think he might holler at Angela?
No.
Angela Merkel in the pen?
He ain't out here like, yo.
He
After
ain't ever
this,
stood up in the DMs like, yo, I'm in Germany for the weekend, right?
Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He was looking hot.
I mean, you know what
He
I'm saying?
was fire.
Get some of that hot cabbage. And
What's the CIA director's name? The little new girl? The CIA director? He ain't like, yo, I'm hiring you because you fire. He ain't like Betsy DeVos. You fire up in here.
You saying that he ain't never sneak up in them DMs at all?
No,
you don't think he
not
was
at
like,
all.
Look,
No, not at all. He ain't even thinking about it. He like,
here,
what?
But, you know,
my wife is hotter than you, and she's old. My ex-wife is hotter than you, and she's old.
Oh my God, Spud. Yo, my dude, you are
Am I wrong? Am I talking about Donald Trump?
Yes.
Donald Trump is not looking at older chicks. He's looking at the young girl. Look at Stormy Daniels. Who was the other Playboy girl? What was the other Playboy girl's name? The Playboy girl's name that came out against Donald Trump.
Aaron McDougal.
How was she? Stormy Daniels is 30 years old. She's like 34, 35 years old. She might be 40 at the most.
Yeah, but you know, there's some 65-year-old women out here that Donald Trump has probably been like, hey, yo, hey.
Yeah, when they were 30.
Nah, he probably must have ran. I think Donald Trump will push up on what he's going to push up on when the mood strikes.
I don't know about that.
He'd be like, yo, Madeline Albright.
So can I say something else, man? Am I allowed to say anything else? Or
Floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Reclaim your time.
So tell your mama that I'm back in town. She likes us boys when it's time to get down. She got this craving for the underage. I just might be your mama's brand new rage. Is that R. Kelly or Ted Nugent?
Let me guess. I'm taking that this Ted Nugent gentleman is right.
So all I'm saying, and I'm gonna keep saying this: if we're gonna put Robert where we put him, as some people may say that he should,
we'll go to my room of fun too. Is that R. Kelly or is that Ted Nugent?
No. Listen, I get it. It's just like we should give all of the black communities, across this country. They should get a certain level of service when it comes to just so many different things, food choices, water, just like with Flint. Like, because what you're saying is that it's okay to give the people in Flint bad water, but not the people that live in Bloomfield Hills right next door.
But can we agree that what we really want for our people, despite what Spotify or Pandora or whoever.
No, but if you listen to Spud and some other people out there,
Lamont, I didn't even fit.
We gotta do that. We gotta do that with Robert, but we can't do that with Ted and David Bowie and a whole other.
Here's a better question. Here's a better question, Maynard. How are you asking for young girls to be okay when they watch Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and then they go on their social media feed and they see one of the stars of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood giving brain to one of her boyfriends? How do you explain that? You mean to tell me that's better? What Maynard is saying is that we want better for that. We want for you not to even be on social media or even on camera giving brain to somebody else and swallowing. We don't even want that.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness. Oh,
right? So the point is,
where are we right now? Oh,
we're saying, I mean, and I get it, but I don't want, and I love y'all. All right? I'm almost to the point where I'll take a bullet for y'all. Depending on the situation. I got punched in the face for you one time, Lamont. So I understand that love is cool, but I'm not putting no tattoo on my body for y'all. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting 3 black guys with the mic on my arm, in my sleeve.
Why?
Damn, so I went out here, jumped the gun, huh?
I was about to say, man, I had one on my inner thigh that was kind of
no. Listen, pull that Speedo all the way down. We don't want to see that. Pull that Speedo all the way down. Pull the Speedo all the way down past the knee.
I'm just saying, I'm for that in the thigh, bro.
First of all, let me say this. Stop talking about your inner thigh. First
of all, I don't want to tattoo.
Your inner thigh.
No tattoo should ever be there. If you haven't, listen to I'm saying this with all love. If you have a tattoo on your inner thigh, this podcast is over. This is no longer a collective of three black guys with a mic. We are literally replacing you if you have a tattoo on your inner thigh. I don't care if it says Thug Life.
I don't have an inner thigh, bro.
I don't care if it says, Dear Mama. I don't care if it says, Detroit Till I Die. I don't care what it says. If you have a tattoo on your inner thigh that doesn't go all the way down your thigh as a sleeve on your leg, this podcast is over. We're canceling it, shutting down the website. We're shutting down the Facebook page, and it's over.
DJ Academics and have DJ Academics replace him.
Absolutely, no question about it.
Oh God.
I don't have any thigh, bro. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Let's not talk about Lamont's thigh anymore, particularly his inner thigh. Let's not discuss it. Let's act as if we didn't even mention his thigh. Yeah, and let's talk about the real topic, which is two rappers. Who was it? Thug
Future and Young Thug.
Thug and Vert, right? Or Thug. Oh,
well, Lil Uzi and Young
Future.
Thug took a very questionable picture. It was personal, but it was questionable. Like
a little intimate.
Okay, this is not what two homies do, but I guess this is a new generation, so I don't know. But Future and Young Thug both got tattoos of each other on themselves, and I ain't doing that.
Why, man? What it sounds like to me is that you afraid.
No, MSNBC can say, you know what? We're gonna give y'all $1 million contract. Y'all gonna be on 7 days a week. Y'all replacing Ali Velshi and Stephanie Rule, and y'all gonna be on 5 days a week. All we need y'all to do is get tattoos of three black guys with the mic on y'all and y'all inner thigh. It ain't happening.
Can I opt for the shoulder? Can I get it right on the shoulder? Hold on, my dude. I got Sally Mae calling me. I need that money.
Maynard, I'm gonna get one of those Wakanda darts and hit him on the side of the neck. And we're on our way to the tattoo shop. We're gonna pull that thigh out, you know what I'm saying? Tell the tattoo artist, get that thigh meat right there, baby.
Y'all gonna hit me with the
Wakanda dart. You know what I'm saying?
Wakanda dart.
Sometimes we can't let no
y'all gonna roofie me. Y'all gonna put me with the roofie. Y'all gonna hit me with the roofie.
Right? It's gonna be like the Hangover.
Yeah, y'all gonna hit me with the roofie.
Oh my God, this is too much.
All right, this is not a show. Do you have a cactus?
I did. The cactus goes to the entire Trump administration this go round. Let me say something. The Republican Party, you all know this. You all have been the and I'm saying this with air quotes, the keeper of law and order, the defenders of veterans, the people who love and put their hand over their chest, and God bless America every time. You know, Colin Kaepernick decided to take a knee, and y'all wanted him to lose his job. He ain't had a job since, because he didn't respect the flag or the men and women of it. But Donald Trump gets to say that John McCain was not a war hero because he got caught. And then this other person comes in his administration and says, well, he's dying anyway. We don't care about him. Where is your care and concern for veterans? Is John McCain not a veteran? Did John McCain was he not a prisoner of war for 5 years? Did John McCain not serve our country honorably while in the service? And then, although we may disagree with his politics, he's continued to serve the country in the Congress and now the Senate. And he's on his dying bed. Decorum requires that the President of the United States and his administration show this man respect. That all Americans show this man respect, at least for the service that he's provided this nation while at war in Vietnam.
Amen to that one.
And if you disrespect this man, then you do not respect the veterans. If you put forward Dr. Ronnie Jackson to head the VA then you do not respect the veterans. If you say that you're going to raise money for the VA and get called out on it because you didn't actually give the money, then you do not respect the veterans. Y'all just lying. And any Republican, any conservative, any right-wing person who says, well, John McCain deserved to be disrespected, or it's not that big of a deal. Oh, y'all taking it out of context. It's just something that Donald Trump said. He didn't mean anything by it. You should share in this cactus as well. So for that, deep to the throat, prickly pricks and all, take this cactus and shut it up.
I thought you was going to give the cactus to Cynthia Nixon.
I thought about that. Cynthia Nixon came out and she said, she said something to the effect about marijuana reform. First of all, let's set it up. Cynthia Nixon, for those who may or may not be aware, was in for many years the television show on HBO, Sex and the City, and she is now running for governor of New York. And in full disclosure, a friend of the podcast, L. Joy Williams, is her senior strategist, communication strategist. L. Joy's been on our show twice, and we have a relationship with our podcast and her podcast, et cetera. So I'll try to reach out to L. Joy on this, and I didn't get the opportunity to speak with her. But Cynthia said something to the effect of, we need, and she's been an advocate since she announced her campaign that she's been an advocate of legalizing marijuana. And then she said something to the effect that what we should do as the licenses are being given out, we should make sure that those communities who've been affected by marijuana enforcement laws unjustly or unfairly in the past, and I'm paraphrasing.
I'll give you the quote. She said, now that cannabis is exploding as an industry, we have to make sure that those communities that have been harmed and devastated by marijuana arrests get the first shot at this industry. We must prioritize them in terms of licenses. It is a form of reparations.
Right. And I don't think that that's cactus worthy. I think it's inarticulate. I think what she meant is these people have been harmed by bad law in the past. And as a means of giving someone an opportunity, and it really was something that I actually said a week or 2 weeks ago on this same show, that, it's unfair that people are going to make millions of dollars while some black man is serving 3 to 5 years for selling a dime bag. And now people are literally who aren't black are going to make millions of dollars selling pounds upon pounds upon pounds of marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And
two blacks.
Right. And in addition to that, now that it's actually legal to sell in some places, these African Americans who have been to jail, are good at maybe selling weed or understand that this is an industry they can get in, they may not even be given an opportunity to get a license because they have an arrest record or a conviction record. And so that's a double penalization of these people. Like, not only did you go to jail for something that is now legal, but now that it's legal, you can't even participate in it. And so I think that's really what she was trying to say. It's easy to parse that out. If you want to read that as she was talking about reparations in some coded language from, 100 years ago about, why black people ain't get their 40 acres and a mule yet. Okay. You could read it that way. I don't. And I'm prepared to say, I think I have a clear understanding of what she was trying to say, and I accept it.
Lamont, you got a problem with that?
Not really, because, R.Kelly's held to a different standard than all the other white artists. So it's the same. It's okay. Let the black men, stay in jail, right? Right, Maynard?
Oh, that's not what she's saying.
What is she saying?
She's basically saying give black folks the opportunity to be able to capitalize off of legalizing marijuana. This is their form of reparations.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you tracking what we're doing over here, Lamont?
What do you mean tracking? What do you mean?
Are you following the show?
No, he's not following the show.
Honestly, I was looking up the proper definition of the word hyperbole. Because as I'm sitting here listening to this foolishness, and I'm sitting up here like 5 minutes ago, it was okay to burn this other black dude to the cross. You know what I'm saying? But now we're talking about let all the black people out because the white people are selling weed and making money. Kind of sounds like the same thing to me, like the black guy gets held to a different standard.
What?
I think you've had one too many.
No, I have. Shout out to Jamie Foxx.
You probably Kettle One, probably, so you should be giving a shout out to.
No, that too, but I'm just saying, like, I feel, I'm not going to bend on that because it's a little bit close to home, with Robert. And it's just like that particular, instance.
It's close to home, Lamont. It's hitting close to home.
What's close to home? R.Kelly ain't got no new records out.
No. It's not about new records. It's about another example how the black artist or black person, black male is treated differently. We saw the video of the young brother down at the Waffle House being roughed up by the 275-pound police officer. We saw the black grandmother down in Alpharetta, Georgia, being manhandled by like 5 police officers. Am I right?
Yeah, 6. Yep, 6 police officers.
I'm like, whoa, come on, dog. Like, if that was an old white lady, you know what I'm saying, that was on 400.
No, Lamont. You live in New Jersey.
What?
You saw the white woman in New Jersey that told the cops.
Oh, listen, man, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. The white lady from Tenafly, right? Which is technically 2 towns over. Right. Which is technically there's 2 people that you brothers on this podcast know that live in that area, and you're right. There is no way.
She told the cops. She said something to the cop, something to the effect that you shut the shit up.
Right.
You don't tell me when I get to talk to my child, and I'll do. And I want your name, and and she was a commissioner.
Exactly. So you allow me to be on that same highway in my foreign car with full insurance. My ass would have been face down on the parkway, bruh.
But
I would have been calling my homies like
R.Kelly. But
well,
let me say
no. Actually, it does because no. Actually, it does because if you go by reading the policy, which a lot of black people don't do, they don't read the policy. What Spotify created is that policy adheres to a lot of other different artists other than R. Kelly. So if we're going to go by the rules and regulations, that's all I'm saying is that rule and regulation was only enacted by R. Kelly and the other little rap dude named Extension. They didn't put no white artists up under that policy. That's all I'm saying.
Lamont, man, you out of the demo, dude. That boy's name ain't Extension.
It is. It's triple X Extension, right? Ain't that it?
Yeah.
It is. So it's Extension. He just spells it like very millennial. You know what I'm saying? But it's Extension.
Let me ask you this, Lamont.
What?
I think that we all agree that R. Kelly is guilty of sexual assault. Am I correct?
In the court of public opinion, yes.
No. Okay. And that's our opinion?
Legally, he's not been. That's what I'm trying to tell you, dog.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey. It's okay. I'm just saying.
And you know, let me say again.
Wait. If somebody, okay, let's just go to Harvey Weinstein, right? Harvey Weinstein, we all could agree.
Was not been convicted.
Okay, so in the court of public opinion,
but he's in white public opinion because when you deal with white women, with white teeth.
Wait. Peter Nwango was in that. Peter Nwango was in that circle as well with Harvey Weinstein.
But that's no. When the white woman, what's her name? The one that played the movie with the eyebrows. I forgot her name. But
was it Rose McGowan?
Yeah, Rose McGowan.
One of them. But when white women cry, black men, everybody listens. It's different. It's totally different. But go ahead.
Hold on for a second. This segment is brought to you by White Women's Tears. When you want to make everything about you, Women's Tears.
Exactly. Go ahead, Spud.
I think that, I guess my concern is that we are removing the victims in this situation. Because at the end of the day, R. Kelly still did wrong. Regardless if Spotify and Pandora are pulling his music, they're pulling his music for a reason. That reason is because he has abused young girls. That is the conversation. Now, I mean, maybe I'm naive or stupid or whatever. I don't give a fuck if he's black or not. He fucked up. The same thing with Bill Cosby. I love Bill Cosby. I grew up on the Cosby Show, and I'm down with Cosby. But Cosby, you drugged girls, period. And I don't think that you should get a pass on that because you are black and because the white man's ice is colder and because possibly that may not happen to him or whatever. And yeah, maybe unfair, but at the end of the day, R. Kelly still is wrong. And I think that going back to every time that we've had this conversation, as well as Parkland and the South Side of Chicago and Killer Mike and the NRA, at the end of the day, we can't give black people an excuse when they fuck up because they're black. R. Kelly still peed on girls.
But who said we're giving it a pass? Only thing I'm saying.
You are sitting here talking to me about Ted Nugent, who made a song about a jailbait.
Hold on, Spud. Hold on.
Lamont,
let me jump in for half a second. What Lamont's about to say is true, which is, let's not give R. Kelly a pass, but let's hold people accountable for the same for similar
let's
behavior.
hold the white people as well.
But where?
Those
but
people
you
are
haven't made no argument. If we were in the court, there is no case here.
There's not been an allegation yet that I'm aware of that Ted Nugent did the things that R. Kelly's been accused of. Now, Lamont's right that he's only been accused of it. But the problem is, if he was accused of it once, you would be like, that's an accusation. Twice, you'd be like, it's coincidental. But R. Kelly, unfortunately, Lamont, you have to admit, this is a pattern. This is an issue that we've been aware of at least since Aaliyah. And it's been, there was the Aaliyah situation, and she was underage. He helped pen that song, which was a gorgeous song, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. He's, your body, my mind's telling me no, but your body's saying yes. It's a little rapey, just a little rapey. And, a lot of the things he's been accused of, the videotape, and now this sex slave.
Can I do this?
This is just a pattern.
Can I do it? Because I want to make sure I got this right. So here's where I'm saying for the 15th time, it's about the Spotify policy. And let me just read this. First and foremost, the policy is under what they call hate content, HATE content. And it says it covers anything that expresses and promotes, advocates, or incites hatred or violence against a group or individual based on characteristics, including race, religion, gender, identity, sex, ethnicity, nationality, sexual abuse, veteran status, or disability. Okay? That's the policy. Now,
if that's the case,
pretty broad.
They shouldn't even be playing music.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, Spud. But why is it that they singled out Robert? That's all I'm saying, dog.
Because the Me Too movement's ice is colder. The Me Too movement is hot right now. Let me ask you a question.
Sir, let me say this.
Let me ask you this question. Let me say this one thing,
These
man.
accusations hurt me more than ever, more. But I don't know that P is his. That could be Digital P.
That's not Digital P. This is before, Digital P. At any rate, my point is let me ask you this question. You did not have the same frustration when Tom Joyner has done the same thing.
I'm sorry?
I mean, Tom Joyner has muted R. Kelly. You wasn't sitting up to talking about this is some bull. I can't believe it. I can't believe Tom Jordan had messed up this man's career.
No. First of all, I didn't say that. What I said is that this major platform that has a paid subscription base of 71 million users, which it is, it's very important to me and what it is that I do. So what I'm saying is, in my opinion, not Spotify in particular, but Spotify, to me, would be leading the way for other individuals, other entities to do the same thing.
Which they have. Pandora,
right.
Apple Music, they've all are following along.
And that's what I'm saying. So to me,
but this is the thing, though. You know what? Then let's just we all are capitalists, right? So let's let the marketplace speak. If Spotify won't play it, and people don't like it, they should cancel Spotify, and Spotify will get the message, and the market will speak.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So if McDonald's decided to have white and black drinking fountains, right? Like they did back in the day, right? Mm-hmm. So do we just say let the market speak and we let that ride?
Sure, because the market speaks. The market is people will stop shopping there. People will protest. People will call them out. It's the same thing with the Starbucks thing. The market spoke. Oh, y'all, Starbucks is what's going on. Okay, we're protesting. Okay, we're going to call y'all out. Okay, we're going to start a hashtag about black while drinking coffee or whatever the case may be. And Starbucks responded. All right, the market spoke when H&M had that ad with the coolest monkey in the jungle or whatever that the little black boy was in, and they were like, oh, we at least in the U.S. market, we're going to take that T-shirt out. And the market spoke on several other occasions, and these companies have had to respond. Certain and companies that don't respond or refuse to respond often find themselves going out of business or losing favor.
Let me ask you a question, man. Are you going against the market on this, Richard? Are you going with the market? If the market says, you know what, we're gonna, no longer support Spotify, Pandora, and Apple Music because they got rid of R.Kelly's music, are you going along with that?
I'm fine with it. And the reason why I'm fine,
you're fine with it in regards that that's what the market's going to do? Are you going to follow along? Are you saying you are in agreement with...
Listen, let me start with this. I can't tell you the last time I played an R.Kelly song. So this is a non-starter for me anyway. I feel like R.Kelly is a phenomenal musician. I've always felt like his content was crass. I feel like, we have got to challenge our R&B and our rap and all of our entertainers of our culture to ascend to a higher level and give us the music that we deserve. I've been saying that on this podcast for 2 years. And, in fact, I said this on your page, Lamont, with me, Mark Hicks and I were going back and forth on it. I'm like, I don't remember Stevie Wonder being unsuccessful putting out positive sounding music. I don't remember Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, the OJs put out great love songs and they were successful. Old school hip hop didn't go to these levels of degrading women and were successful. So why can't we have that? Why do they got to be bitches and hoes? And there's a song where the dude said, I can't remember who it is, but he says, I might, you ain't on my level. I might let you suck my dick maybe, or something that I'm like, how do we get here? How do we get here where we're Luke, maybe it is Luke.
No,
I don't know.
I'm just kidding.
But I don't know who it was. But why do we accept that this is the way that our music is at this point? There are R&B songs right now that they used to like. R&B used to be this thing about love and the man and the woman that cared about each other, and they talked about, even if they talked about sex in it, they didn't say But now that the Chris Brown song that we talked about a couple of months back, when he said, your privacy, I know you like it when I eat your. Where are we at?
No, man. He said he's gonna make the girl pee in the bed.
No, you got to go back and read those lyrics.
No. One of them songs when Chris said he's gonna make a girl pee in the bed, I was like, oh my God. Yeah, he did say that. One of them, it might have been Privacy, but it was one of those records. He thought he was gonna make you pee in the bed.
Well, he said something in the word privacy. He said in the song Privacy. He says he's gonna F you back to sleep.
Well, that's back to sleep. That's not privacy.
Right. Oh yeah. Right. I mean, that's not privacy. Ain't nobody here but you and me licking your private parts. I know you love your privacy.
I'm sorry. No. It's called Wet to Bed with Ludacris. That's where I was going.
I'm trying to figure out where in the sizzle are we? Hold on. When I lick it, I put tears in it, put my face in it, and eat it like a dinner date. You know I love full play, 12 play, everything.
Maynard, you know what's sad about that?
The sizzle is going on in this world.
Maynard, you know what's sad is I have a wife and I don't talk to my wife like that, bro.
I don't talk to my wife like that neither.
Not at all. That's not happening. No.
I'm not like, babe, I'm make you pee in the bed tonight. I ain't never. We ain't doing that around here. We're not doing that around here.
I can't. But what I'm saying is, so where this boycott is, I feel like every person who believes, every black person who believes that our artists owe us more should be writing their radio stations saying, here are the top 40 songs you played last week. These 4 or 5, whatever number of songs on there that you feel are objectionable and shouldn't be played. You say these songs should not be played. I can't tell you if I do or do not have a Nielsen people meter, but I can tell you if you play these and I do have a Nielsen people meter, I will not write your station down as being listened to. Programmers will get the message real quick behind that.
If enough people do it, yeah.
Well, I mean, in any market, it only takes 15 or 20 particularly for black radio, because of the, in Detroit, 20 people telling a black radio station I'm not listening is probably worth 80,000 listeners. So black people, if you want to take control and you want the market to speak black people, and you want to use capitalism to your advantage, and you want better for us collectively, there's a strategy. If you don't want better for us collectively, go down right now and buy the new Chris Brown album, or go and pop in the old R.Kelly 12 play and bump that as loud as you possibly can around your 8-year-old.
Or called Spotify.
Give me more of that R. Kelly because I like peeing on them. That's what you want.
Well, this has not been a show. This has been a wonderful hour and 33 minutes amongst 3 African-American men, black guy, whatever you want to call us. We hope that you get in on the conversation about everything that we talked about today at facebook.com/3blackguyswithamic. Get with us on our Facebook at 3blackguyswithamic.com. Order yourself a t-shirt and Maynard to buy you another t-shirt.
That's right. And if you get a t-shirt and you take a picture of yourself barbecuing in Oakland, I will buy you and your whole family a t-shirt. And we will also get you a t-shirt meme of the old lady that was called the police for people for barbecuing by black. We'll create a t-shirt with that for you.
I don't know about all that, but okay. All right. We'll do it again next Tuesday right here, 3 Black Guys with the Mic. Y'all holla.